Hello, everyone. Welcome to another session of Sirus Migration and Education. Today, we are going to be discussing about a lot of pathways for PR in Australia, leading from different course options. I have today here Shani Yapa, who's a registered migration agent, and myself, Miki Chabra. I'm the head of education for Sirus Migration in Australia. And today's point of discussion is basically for those students out there who are studying a particular course in Australia as an international students and they cannot find a pathway to PR. So whether you are studying professional accounting or public health or could be community services, any course that you're studying out there, but you are struggling to find a pathway towards your PR. So Ashani is going to help us figure out options with different courses and how does it lead to options for PR into 491 and 190. Is that right, Ashani, there?
Yeah, that's right. Because it's always good to have a plan while you're on your student visa as well, rather
Yes.
than waiting for the last minute. What we saw last time when BSMQ and other states opened, they opened with very short list of
Yes,
occupations,
absolutely.
which were not expected. That resulted in a lot of our clients who are here on 485s ending very soon with no options at all. So we are going to address those clients with 485 and also the international students on student visa, giving them much better options, which we believe would have better prospects for permanent residency.
Absolutely, guys. So let's chalk out and map a plan for your PR pathway. Let's not just sit back and, listen to your friends and family, or you can do this and you can do that. And everybody wants to do a bachelor's of nursing because they think that nursing is the only professional career left in Australia. That's not true, is it?
Not really. We
Yeah.
have seen like what are the critical sectors identified, and we have seen a list called PMSOL, Priority Migration Skilled Occupation List. From that, we can get a really good understanding what the future is going to be in Australia for next couple of years coming out of COVID recovery, and which occupations are going to be in demand, which will help our students to figure out their pathway in the future.
Absolutely. So, guys, it's a pandemic which is not going to stay forever. So, keep your hopes high, and everybody is here working hard. And don't just shut down your brain and say, "Oh, nothing's going to happen in Australia. Australia is not going to give migration to international students." That's not true. It's going to happen, and when the floodgates open, you will be amazed to see a lot of more occupations opening up in the migration
Right.
industry. So we're going to talk about some of the courses, and I'm going to ask Ashani if she could assist us. She could assist us in guiding us the pathway to PR. Let's say, for example, one of our top priority lists today is discussing about an advanced diploma of telecommunication network engineering. So, Ashani, can you please guide us students out there who are studying this course or maybe looking to study as concurrent or study on a 485? How does it lead to permanent residency if they are in Queensland, for example?
Miki, the question you asked about advanced diploma of telecommunications, if you're an international student holding a subclass 500 and if you haven't applied for your 485, you can study this course for 2 years, which will enable you to apply for subclass 485, the post-study work visa. And once you do that, then you can get your skills assessment. For this course, you don't need any job ready program or experience after the qualification to get the skills assessment. That's one of the benefits. You can apply to Engineers Australia and get your skills assessment. And as for the state nomination, for subclass 491, you need to be working in regional Queensland suburb for 3 months and you need to have a 12 months job offer. For subclass 190 or the permanent residence visa, you need to be working in Queensland, any suburb, so it could be city or regional, and you need to have already worked for your employer for 6 months, and you need to have a 12 months job offer, and preferably 80 points for subclass 190, and only 65 points, including the state points for subclass 491. So if you can get to this, so plan ahead, especially if you're on your 485. Even though you can fast track this course and finish it in 1 year, don't wait till the last minute. Start this as soon as you go on to
Yes,
your
absolutely.
485. If you can't see any future pathways with what you studied, this is a great course to study, which will have a better opportunity for permanent residency.
So, guys, we have seen in the past, and even if you look up on seek.com.au, there's a lot of jobs for telecommunication engineers out there, and there's a scarcity. That's why it's on the list for permanent residencies. So, don't be scared that what happens if I finish this job, finish this course, and I can't find a job. You will, if you're good at it, you will find a job. And if you find a job, the options are very, very bright. So, thank you very much, Ashani. And the next course that we're talking about, a similar course with Engineers Australia and does not require a job ready program as well to get a skills assessment, is an advanced diploma of civil engineering. It leads to, I think, civil draft person.
Draftsperson, yes.
The whole process is the same between this course and telecommunication network engineering?
That's right. So the good thing about Queensland is they're pretty uniform towards their two programs, subclass 190 where you need to be working for 6 months and to have a 12 months job offer, and for subclass 491 you need to be working for 3 months and then have a 12 months job offer. So for any of these occupations, once you graduate, if you're in Queensland, that is the only requirement you need to meet. And especially for 491 you only need 65 points. But the key point is, to get a Queensland nomination, you need to have full-time work rights at the time you're getting the nomination. So for our clients or our viewers who are on subclass 485, this is their last opportunity to get a qualification and also get their nomination before the 485 ends.
Absolutely. And can you shed some light on the skill list? I've heard that both of these courses are actually coming in the priority list as well.
Yes, Mickey, you are right. Both telecommunications and also the civil engineering course, they can fall under the critical sectors that they have identified this time. When BSMQ opened, they identified certain sectors that they believe to be in critical, and telecommunication is one of them, and also critical infrastructure is one of them. So if you were already qualified in this one of these courses, you will definitely fall under these critical sectors.
Super, that's what you want to hear. So there are pathways available with the advanced diploma courses and without doing a job ready program for 1 year, which most of the international students are scared of. So, but depending on your work experience as well, what you have been working as while you're on a student visa, your part-time job profile, or your previous past work experience you had overseas in your home country, you could be eligible for other courses as well, which might lead you to permanent residency pathway as advised by Ashani. So there are some courses that you can also fast track and complete it in a shorter duration of time, even less than 1 year, while you are studying your bachelor's or master's as well. So if you are already studying a higher education course, obviously you cannot go and downgrade to a diploma course. So there are options available where you can study it parallel to your master's or bachelor's course, and you can finish that qualification alongside your higher education qualification, or maybe on the 485 visa post your master's or bachelor's education. So some of the courses we're going to talk about which you can fast track parallel or post your master's or bachelor's education is we're going to be talking about some courses like commercial cookery, for example, which leads to chef.
That's right, chef, which is on the MLTSS, medium to long-term skilled occupation list, and the only qualification you need for chef is the certificate 4.
Yes.
And chef was in Queensland list this time as well, but they are requiring you to have at least 3 years post qualification work experience. But I think this list was very limited, so we are hoping in July there'll be more generous and there'll be more occupations.
Absolutely.
And
so
these caveats would be lifted, hopefully.
Yes, a lot of students out there studying a cookery course, and we start getting calls of what's going to happen to me now, I'm studying to be a chef, but I've heard you need 3 years of work experience, and my post-study visa is only going to be 1.5 years. So is that going to be the scenario for the future, or is it just because of the priority list they've called for those students who have more years of experience? What do you think,
based on what the information out there, this is not guaranteed, but I think it will most likely change in the next financial year. simply because there's going to be more quota, so they have more capacity to invite more people for next year. So don't be scared. As Mickey said, we've explained these courses, but they're not the only courses out there.
Absolutely.
It's best that you get in touch with a qualified education agent or migration agent so we can assess your case based on your work experience and qualification and suggest you the best course towards your future, isn't it, Mickey?
That's absolutely correct. And some of the other courses that you could opt for, I'll give you some examples, is automotive, which leads to general mechanic, or you could be a diesel mechanic or panel beater. They are on the shortage list as well, and in the medium and long-term list.
That's right. Motor mechanic is MLTSS.
Other construction courses could be a very good incentive for the Queensland government, because they are looking for infrastructure. So painting and carpentry, which are construction courses, could lead you to permanent residency as well. So don't worry, guys, if you don't hold a diploma visa, which is a VET visa, vocational education and training visa, you could still be enrolled into one of these courses while you are studying your higher education, and you could create a pathway towards your PR. All these courses, though, they require a job ready program for 1725 hours. So once you finish your qualification, you have to go and do a work training placement, which you can only do it on a 485
That's
visa.
Right, you have to be holding a 485 visa.
So you don't want to be wasting your time to wait for a 485 visa to be approved before you start into this qualification. So you might want to start early and plan ahead.
That's right. And also my message to all the international students is to use your 485 wisely and decide exactly when to use it.
Yes, absolutely.
Because sometimes it may not be a really good idea to use it just as soon as you finish your bachelor's degree. You may want to use it at a later stage where you're more confident of getting to where you want to be in your 485.
Yes, absolutely correct. So next we're going to talk about allied and health courses available in Queensland. So TAFE Queensland is actually offering nursing and community services courses. Nursing course is available at TAFE in Queensland for 1.5 years, which is a diploma in nursing, which leads to an enrolled nurse. Yeah. So Ashani, could you enlighten us about this course? How does this lead to a permanent residency pathway of 491 in Queensland?
That's right, Mickey. All these health-related courses, especially nursing, has been really popular since the COVID-19 pandemic. Enrolled nurse has been on the Queensland list for quite some time, but with the COVID, only the registered nurses in certain areas and not elsewhere classified has been on the list. But we are hoping that it will come back. But even if not, enrolled nurse is a mid-exit point of being a registered nurse. Once you're an enrolled nurse, you can get your skills assessment, you can get your registration and start working as an enrolled nurse, and then keep studying for 2 more years to become a registered nurse. And once you're a registered nurse, they are demanded anywhere in Australia, all the states. So you will have much better opportunities as a registered nurse. And again, another benefit of studying nursing, as long as you have 7 in each band equivalent to IELTS academic, you don't need to show any work experience or prove any work experience to obtain your skills assessment, which is needed for state nomination. So as Mickey said, health has been identified as one of the critical sectors, both in priority migration list and also the Department of Home Affairs. So enrolled nurse or registered nurse is a great course if someone's...
So why not? So guys, if you are actually struggling to get into a bachelor's of nursing and your next intake is July 2022 or February 2022, and you can't get a seat anywhere before that, why not study Diploma of Nursing and use this time wisely? So studying 1.5 years is going to give you a 1-year credit into Bachelor's of Nursing. So you'll only end up spending another 2 years into Bachelor's of Nursing. So instead of doing a Bachelor's in 3.5 years, you'll complete it. Bachelor's in 3 years, you'll complete it in 3.5 years, but you have a mid-way exit point, as Ashani said.
That's right. And also the fees-wise, there'll be a huge benefit because if you compare the TAFE Queensland fees to a university fees, it's almost half.
It is.
So if you're supporting yourself, I think it'll be a really good start where you can get into the industry, start working, and also get the practical experience that you need for your bachelor's degree.
Absolutely makes sense. So you could be, there are seats available in TAFE Queensland for a small deposit of $1,000. You can secure your seat and start as an enrolled nurse straight away. You don't have to wait 1.5 years. All right, Shani, next interesting course that I want to discuss with you is a Diploma of Community Services. We've had a lot of students coming in and discussing about their pathway in commercial cookery and, bachelor's of business. And I asked them, what do you do? And they say, oh, we're working as an NDIS, disability support worker. So if you already have a job in disability sector, why don't you think of doing a Diploma of Community Services with TAFE Queensland? It's only a 1-year course. And how do you think these students can secure a PR pathway with this course, Ashani?
Yes, Diploma of Community Service. That's actually a great course if you're planning subclass 491 especially, because if you study for 1 or 2 years and then work for 1 year to obtain your skills assessment, you already have done your 3 months work as a part of getting your skills assessment. And then if you can secure another job offer for 12 months, either with the same employer or with a new employer, then you could be eligible for subclass 491 with just 65 points, including the state point. So that's actually a great course as well, especially if you're running out of time.
So as you heard, Ashani, for a lot of courses that we've discussed today, there are different multiple options available. You don't have to be enrolled into a master's or a bachelor's, but there are small courses that could lead you to a PR pathway.
But I think it's very important to also mention that you shouldn't jeopardize any of your visa conditions while changing your courses or downgrading or choosing a different course or while studying concurrently. So it's really important that you see a migration agent who handles these visas every day and get the right advice before you do anything, because the last thing we want is for you to breach any of the conditions of your current visa.
Thank you very much, Ashani, for giving us all this important information for our students out there looking for different PR pathways. As you heard, Ashani, guys, there are pathways available. Doesn't matter what course you are studying, but there is an alternate option always available. So if you're looking for the right guidance, give us a call or visit us in our Brisbane office, and we would be able to guide you into the right path. There's free consultation available for education and a small fee you can pay to get migration consultation as well. Ashani Yapa is always available in the office if you want to discuss your PR pathway or you want to discuss any courses with myself. Thank you very much for watching this video, and we'll keep you informed of any new updates or news